A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, and in this channeling session we are talking about a divine masculine energy who is heavily into drugs, and while he's heavily into drugs, he is trying to think about the divine feminine. He's realizing that whatever he is doing, whatever darkness he's gotten into, is because he made big mistakes. He's regretting it a lot, but he has no control over his emotions, and this is a kind of addiction, a very difficult, a very hard kind of addiction. So let's get started and let's understand why is this energy being shown to us. So this divine masculine basically was always thinking and wishing that he should become successful, he should have a lot of money, a lot of people should know him. Right at a very young age, he has those type of dreams. And he was raised in an atmosphere where money was not easily available. But he was always hopeful that when he grows up, he will definitely earn a lot of money. And that money and that successful lifestyle will bring a lot of pride to his family, to his relatives, to whosoever, he thought he could affect, and the people around the hood he lived in, the poverty he was a part of, he witnessed it. And there is a similar type of energy where it is not just about the money, but it's about bringing a name to the family, bringing a name where, name and fame, or that people should know you, people should see you as somebody. All of that was very important while growing up. So that was his big dream. Then he met the divine feminine at the time when he was not that successful. He wasn't that popular or he wasn't that rich. He didn't have all those big cars. But he was on the way of doing those things, on the way of making big money and big cars and big houses and lot of jewelry and lot of those things. And when he met the divine feminine, they were both very innocent, they were both very young and both very much pure and very much in love with each other. The divine feminine could see that he is getting into some darkness because he had started attracting people who were, from the higher society, the rich kids and I'm saying kids, they're not really kids, but those who are born with the golden spoon, the silver spoon, and they were getting attracted to him. He was hanging out with a lot of people, though he was taking her everywhere with him. No matter where he went, whatever meetings he did, whatever money-making businesses he was getting into, because he had that thing in him, he had that confidence in him, and all these people, they get more attracted towards the confidence. That is something he did not know at that time, but the divine feminine could see it. So she started telling him things like, should be careful about this person or that person. And she would say that we don't need to make so much money. We can be happy in what we have. We can be happy in a simple life. We can do so much. Look, we have all of these things already. Don't you think this is enough for us? When you get into those people, those circles, they are going to take something from you. They would want a part of you. And at that point in time, because the feminine was not that secure, she has not done that amount of inner work. She was also not in the right space. She got very insecure and she had big fears of losing him. She thought that maybe some hot and sexy, some very rich girl will come in his life. She'll just take him away and he'll also go away. She had those things because she could see that the type of people who were getting attracted towards him, the type of things he was doing, the type of businesses he was running. At such a young age, he was becoming successful. People were calling him to their parties. He used to be like the center of attraction. He would go towards the end of the party with her. And even while she was with him, she was not in the, queen mode. She had not actually taken her crown yet. So when the other girls used to hover around him, hang out with him, she would, as much as she wanted to tell them to back off in a very subtle, energetic way, but she could not do it. So she would smile, she would notice that they were getting close to him, but he would always hold her hand, and some way or the other he would tell the other women that I'm with this girl and I'm going back home with her, even if they were doing, parties every night. So a lot of people who met him during that time when he was still not as successful as he is now, they all know him and they all know that he was with her all the time. So that type of dynamic was there, and slowly and gradually, he started traveling. He would go here and there. She won't be a part of it. Or sometimes, there were other people who were managing his business. They would tell him, do you really need to take her with you? That will probably reduce your prospects. And he would also believe her because she also did not have that much belief in him. She didn't want to fight with him at that time because she was scared that what if I fight with him? What if I say something to him? I will lose him any which way. So she started tolerating a lot of it which was not supposed to be tolerated. It's very important to speak up about things at the right time so that they don't, become too much. Or it's also very important to have that type of confidence in you, that type of faith in you, that if somebody is going somewhere, or say for example, if it's not about the faith also, if the man is doing something wrong, that the woman should put a foot down and just say that, look, then you enjoy your life, I'm going away. And she should also choose a better person, a suitable person or somebody. So she did not know at that time how to put her foot down. She was not that confident. She was confident, of course, she had good intuition. So she could see all the dark energies that were around him. She could see with her intuitive eye that, she could read somebody's energies, that, this girl doesn't have good energy, that guy doesn't have good energy, that new manager is very slimy, very diplomatic, always praising him, always pumping his ego. She didn't want his ego to be big. She wanted his real personality to be around. And whenever ego takes over, the actual person that you are, that person is not there anymore because the ego has taken over. So she wanted that person, the person that she fell in love with, she dated, she was hanging out with, she was looking for that person, and in her presence, that person would be around. So those people with dark energies did not want her to be around him because in her presence, he would not make such actions or decisions. It wasn't easy to pump him too much. His ego would not get that space because she would just calm him down and she would just say, hey, I don't think that's, good for your happiness. I don't think that will make you so happy, and, you have to make this project work, so you got to be in relaxed energies. This is too much pressure. She would say something or the other. So the manager or the business administrators or the new people he was hiring, they planned it out in such a way and they manipulated everything in such a way that they would arrange business meetings or they would arrange outdoor visits or, whatever he was doing. He could be into anything. He could be into music industry. He could be a person who could be into the entertainment world. He could be into businesses which revolve around entertainment, because those people also make a lot of money who organize the events, who organize the shows. And they are like the actual kingmakers or even the big stars or the big actors. They are literally talking to them most of the times because they are the money making machines, They are the ones who's paying everyone. They get the maximum profit. So if, you're that type of a person, he is very smart. It's not like he's stupid. Otherwise, he would not be making so much money and not such a big empire. It would not have been possible. But at the same time, he felt because he was more enamored by that life. He was not that enamored by true love at that time or that peace of mind you get when you're with a person who loves you. He was more about, no, I have to make that car, buy that car, make that business work. I have to get that jet, that private jet. I have to get this, I have to start. So he's into multiple businesses. I can, sense that he's into maybe clothing, he's into accessories, he's into jewelry. He's doing all those amazing things. And people want to work with him. Investors want to put the money with him. And he's very smart to say that, I don't want this investor, that investor. He was really good with business analysis, analytics, statistical analysis, and things like that. At the same time, while he was so good with business. But he chose the money, the success, and he didn't choose the love, the divine feminine, because he also started feeling that she was, she was not really the same. And he would tell her, I'm with you, I'm hanging out with you, I'm holding your hand when I go to the parties, I keep a hand on your waist, not any other girl's waist. So why don't you just be patient, and why don't you just stay relaxed? Why are you making me negative? This was my dream. I wanted to do this for such a long time. Why are you acting like such a huge roadblock? Why are you so insecure? Why are you so insecure? I don't understand. He would say all those things to her. Are you jealous? And she would say, I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. I'm not envious. I just don't like those people. So he's like, so learn to like those people, because those people are going to be around me as much as you're going to be around me. So both of them had their flaws. Both of them lacked some kind of confidence. Both of them were very confident in the terms of the worldly confidence, but they did not know any better. So when you don't know any better, you always do what's more obvious, right? You don't go into what's not obvious. So anyway, cut to the story, to the future. They did eventually break up. They go away. They got separated. It was a very hard breakup because he just started avoiding her, started ignoring her. He won't take his phone calls. Like if he would call her back, he would call her back after long hours. He would go missing for many hours. And she started chasing him, which she should not have done. She also made those mistakes because she got very insecure. She got very fearful that I'm going to lose him forever. He's never coming back to me. He's going to find some girl. Somebody is going to snatch him away right under my nose, and things like that. And slowly and gradually those things actually started coming true because, all these daughters, rich daughters, like rich men's daughters who are going to these parties looking for the perfect mate, with whom they can have fun, but they come with a certain amount of, perks. They come with a lot of perks because, say, if the town's richest woman or the richest man's daughter is dancing or singing or is hanging out with a guy, an upcoming entrepreneur, an upcoming businessman, then other people are automatically drawn towards him. So those girls were bringing in the perks, and he was also enjoying the attention. And then the one who had the maximum perks or the maximum confidence that I can get this man easily. I can wrap him around in my little finger. I'll use my sweet words. They're all trained, these girls, the karmics, they are all trained, very well trained. Be it a karmic who wants a man's money, or be it a karmic who just wants the man's commitment. All of them are very trained in giving the perfect smiles, wearing the perfect clothes, because they don't have any lack, The divine feminine was also feeling bad because she feels that from the perspective of status, she doesn't stand anywhere. She doesn't have that inner confidence that my man is attracted to me, only me. I'm the one who makes him happy in all possible ways. And I'm amazing too. And she's not able to look at those inner qualities. When she makes the comparison, she feels like those girls have so many perks and so many good things about them. They have the fancy cars, they have the designer clothes, they have all the looks which are probably coming from plastic surgery or whatever, it is not natural. So she goes into those zones, and maybe she starts becoming like them, acting like them. And when she does that, the divine masculine finds her more unattractive because he was always attracted towards her as who she is. So she starts losing parts of her, and he starts losing parts of him in the rat race. In the rat race of hoping and thinking that all this big money is going to make him a happy, successful person. Now he's basically actually reminiscing the times that he spent with her, and he's now heavily into drugs. He realizes that. He's realizing that ever since he's got into this circle of these influential people, so-called elites, so-called socialites, rich, very rich people, they're all billionaires, millionaires. They have, the system, the police or the law and all these things, they are the ones who rule them, with all of their money and all of their power. So he is hanging out with the people who have the power, they have the money. They have everything they want. They have all the control. And they live the most lavish lives. They live on the cruises. They have the private jets. They have the best designer clothes. In fact, they are hanging out with the designers. The same designers who are making those designer clothes. They're hanging out with the who's who. They're hanging out with all the famous celebrities. So the famous people. So he is in that position where he's untouchable. So he is talking about how he has started consuming all these chemicals, because this is the only thing these people know. They have been raised like that. They have lived the whole life like that, ever since they were young. When you are being raised in a house where you have a bar, you have the most expensive alcohol, the best liquor, the best parties, the best of everything, so you don't really know any other way of living. You don't know any other style of living. So when he looks at his, new partner, his new life partner, he sees that she doesn't know what third world problems could be, or what strugglers do, or how they reached here, how he has reached there, from a very small hood to having not many things, having a family, a huge family. Now also he has the family, but obviously ever since he left home, he's been sending money to the family. He's been visiting the family. His family also now lives in a big house. They have all the good things, but he cannot hang out with them in these parties, or he cannot hang out with them more than this. He cannot spend so much time with them. His actual dream was to actually live with them, live with the family, give them everything, be the good provider. But he feels that he is in a cycle, he's in a loop. And maybe this was his destiny too, to be trapped in this loop eventually, because he only wanted these things. Now he's thinking in his head, what can I achieve more than this? On the materialistic plane, on the materialistic level, I have everything now, everything that anyone can imagine. So I have the best women, and it's not like he has been with so many women already, so many women. After, his girlfriend who knew him from really the time when he was a simple man, a much simpler man, he was only like a one-woman man. He was only with her, and he loved her a lot. He would buy things for her. As soon as he started making money, he would buy things for her. He bought a car for her. He did all those things for her. But then when he started meeting all these really attractive women who would seduce him, and they didn't want anything from him. They were not telling him, don't do this, don't do that. They just wanted him for a night, or maybe more than that, a little bit more than that. And as long as the whole thing or the whole arrangement is working, those girls were happy to just go shopping, to just hang out with him in his office, or just travel with him, just be there for him, behind the scenes, or behind all the hard work that he was doing, because he was doing a lot of hard work too. It's not like he was just sitting and just talking and, making money. In many cases, he was just talking and making money, but he wanted to, whatever he was doing, he wanted to make sure that his products or his designs or his ideas, or if he's in a different entertainment industry, then whatever he's sharing, that's as real as it can be, or as entertaining or as amazing as it can be. So those girls just would come and go. He was waking up next to 2-3 girls also at times, because all this drugs and alcohol and all the availability and all the fun they were giving it to him, it was at that point in time he chose that. And it was also somewhere the emptiness that he was trying to fill, that ever since the divine feminine left, or she went away, or he started ignoring her, he also was blaming her. He was thinking, she could have been a part of this amazing life. Why is she so conservative, or why is she acting as if she's so orthodox? She wasn't like this when she was with me. We would go out drinking, we would go out having fun, we would do all the crazy things. She would spend nights with me. So then why is she now getting so frustrated or so insecure? Or, somebody would just tell him that she's not as classy as those girls, or she's not, those comparisons were being made. She's not that sassy, she's not that cool. Or in India, we have a word called desi. She's desi. If you have to put it that way. She's more desi and those girls are more videshi, or they're more polished is the word, or poised is the word. Those comparisons were being made, and he was getting frustrated, she was getting frustrated. He would tell her, be like this, be like that, why don't you wear this, why don't you wear that, and she was getting frustrated. So eventually there came a point where he was completely gone into the world of ego and his actual personality, the person that he was. That person, that amazing person, that fun-loving person, he became more serious. He became more like he would not laugh so much. He would not crack so many jokes. He had to maintain his status. He was not hanging out with the people he worked with, or he would maintain distance from everyone. And these girls and these females would entertain him, and he would spend time with them. He was doing whatever you can imagine right now. And then came along the basic bitch type of a karmic. That's what some people say, but I'm not sure, because I feel that they are raised like that. They also don't have any other way of existence. They don't know anything else in life. So on this note, I'm going to be pausing this channeling session here, because there's more to come. As in the next part, he would be interacting, or he would be saying things. It's in the moment of realizations, when that personality comes out, because to do his work or to be himself, sometimes he needs to get in touch with the personality, which he's also missing nowadays. He doesn't like this side of him. He wants like that old self of him more. And whenever he connects with the old self more, he automatically thinks about her. So I'm going to continue this channeling in the next part. Till then, keep smiling, and one love and peace out.